Hi everyone, and welcome to the last episode in this Ramadan series of Mo Talks. So we're a couple of days away from Eid now, and I think it's a good opportunity to spend some time within ourselves and have a moment of reflection. I think it's really key moving forward from Ramadan post-Eid, once we've had some time to recover, get some food, get some water in our system and get back to normal life, if you like, is not to go back to the normal bad habits and to continue some of the good deeds and good habits. So how do we go about doing that? The first key thing is to actually look back on how your month went. Did you enjoy this month? Was it a struggle? Did you keep all your fasts? Did you fall off some days? Did you feel sick? Were you tired, lethargic? Did you do the things that you set out to initially do? Did you set some intentions and some goals at the beginning of the month? If you didn't, did you do that through the mid-month? So there's a lot of questions, and what I've just mentioned are just a few. There's many more on the list. So what you need to do is sit down with a pen and paper, reflect, and write down some of the good habits which you've picked up this month. So as an example, myself, it's probably been the first time in many years that I've really spent some time understanding the power of prayer and trying to commit to all the prayers as much as I could throughout the month. And now when I miss a prayer, I feel quite bad about it. So I'd like to continue that goal. I'd like to continue with that positive intention, because I do believe that power has a lot of positives. Prayer has a lot of positives, and there's some deep inner power that we could develop through that. So some other good habits which I've picked up is I've learned to be more humble throughout this month. You know, obviously we're fasting, so there's no excessive eating, or there shouldn't be, even when you're allowed to. My appetite does shrink quite considerably. So I think I'd like to continue that, is be a little bit more humble with my food and realize that there's many people in the world who struggle just to eat a couple of grains of rice, and here we are, I can eat anything I want, but I don't need to do things in excess. I think another one which I had was spend some quality time with myself. You know, quite often some people are distracted by spending all their time with their family and friends, and other people just, even if they're alone, they'll be on their phone all the time, or on the TV or music, and they'll have this constant distraction. And there's not many people who actually sit alone with your thoughts and actually really understand what you're going through, if there's any struggles and pains there, who you are as a person, what you'd like to achieve, why you might feel uncomfortable sitting alone with yourself. So I think those sort of things are really key. So how do we do that in a practical sense? I think the simple thing is just get a pen and paper, or get your phone out with your notes section and start to write down what habits you would like to continue with after Ramadan. So a few of the things which I mentioned may be on your list. You may have a completely different list. So write those things down. And then next to that, write a list of the things you used to do before Ramadan, which were bad habits. It might be smoking, it might be drinking fizzy drinks, it might be not seeing family regularly enough, like they would like you to, or you would like to. You know, so from that you'll have a list of all the good things that you'd like to continue, and you'd have a list of all the bad things which you want to cut out. And from there, just make a positive intention. It doesn't need to turn around overnight, but you make an intention that it might be for the next 3 months, 6 months, or even something that you're working on for the rest of the year, that I'm just going to improve one thing at a time. And set yourself a realistic deadline of working towards that goal. So mine may be, for example, that throughout the month from mid-April, where we are now, to mid-May, I'm going to make a conscious effort to continue with my 5 prayers a day, right? And I will continue that until it becomes second nature, and only then I'll move on to the next step, right? So that's a really simple guide and an easy way of doing things. Now, inevitably, life is going to take over, normal life will resume. A lot of people tend to go on holidays from work for the last week to get through the last week of Ramadan and to enjoy the celebrations of Eid. We get back to normal work, we get back to our stressful lives, wherever that may be in the world. I'm currently based in London, so it's busy all the time, and we tend to go back to bad habits, especially when it comes to eating, drinking fizzy drinks, not sleeping enough, doing things in excess. And my message is quite a simple one. Let's try to continue making those good improvements, taking those positive steps and measures that we've set out during Ramadan to continue for the rest of the year and for the future, to make you a better version of yourself. When it comes to training, that's also important, because obviously being a coach, being a personal trainer, I'm an advocate for physical exercise. I think Ramadan is one of those where it depends where you sit. Some people use it as a month to really push on with their fitness goals, and other people tend to find it a really big struggle to actually train. But I think now that we're close to the end of Ramadan, once Eid is done, enjoy a few days off and set a plan on how to get active and start some physical exercise and build that as part of your routine. Once you start to take care of your physical health and your mental health and your emotional health, incorporate the continuation from Ramadan to also improve your spiritual health, I think that you will give yourself the best opportunity to build your overall fitness. So that's my message for you guys. I hope everyone has had an amazing Ramadan, and I wish everyone an Eid Mubarak for when it comes around in the next couple of days.